Hello guys, welcome back to STEM Trainers. Now today we are going to see inverse of a function. So basically we are not going to see what is inverse of a function. So what we are going to see is if a function is given, then how to find its inverse and how to find the domain and range of the inverse function. So that is our aim for this video. Okay, let's start. So a basic, I will just touch the basic. What is inverse of a function? So basically inverse of a function is a function that reverses another function. So what do we mean by that? So if a function f applied to an input x gives a result of y, then applying its inverse will give us the result as x when the input is y. So basically it reverses. Input and output reverses. Okay, so let's solve some questions. So a function is given as fx equal to 5x plus 1. So we have to find its inverse, and it's given that its domain is x belongs to R. Okay, so how do you find the inverse? There is a fixed method. So if you follow that method, you can always find the inverse very easy. So what's that method? First thing is you will take fx as y. So y is equal to 5x plus 1. So now from this equation, you will try to find the value of x. So from this, I want to find the value of x. So I have y value. Always you will have y value. So you will find the value of x from this. So let's find. So y minus 1 will be equal to 5x. And this can be written as y minus 1 over 5 is equal to x. So that's the first step. Write fx as y, then find the value of x. Next step is, the second step you can say is, once you found the value of x, interchange x and y. Because you know inverse of a function means input and output, that is x and y interchanges. So that is what we are going to do. So interchange x and y. So what you will get? X minus 1 over 5 is equal to y. So that is my inverse function. Or you can say this is nothing but f inverse of x. That is my answer. As simple as that. So only two steps are there. First, write fx as y and solve for value of x. Then interchange x and y. That's it. Okay, let's try one more question. So second question is fx is given as x cube minus 1 and x is any real number. Okay. So again we have to find the inverse. So first is I will take fx as y. So y will be equal to x cube minus 1. From this you will try to find the value of x. So I can say y plus 1 will be equal to x cube. So I can write x will be equal to cube root of y plus 1. So once I have x, now what I will do is, second step is interchange x and y to find the inverse function. So my y value will be equal to cube root of x plus 1, which is nothing but my f inverse x. That's it. That's your answer. I think it's pretty simple. Okay, let's try one more question. So fx is equal to 2x plus 1 over x minus 2. So a function is given and it's given that x belongs to real number and x is not equal to 2. Obviously, if x is 2, this is not defined. Okay, so this is, we can say this is nothing but the domain of fx, right? What is domain? Domain is values of x for which fx is defined, or you can say values of x for which a function is real. So obviously if x is equal to 2, this becomes not defined. Anyways, we will discuss this in the next step. Anyways, so to find the inverse, I will take fx as y. So y is equal to 2x plus 1 over x minus 2. So from this, I will try to find the value of x. So I will cross multiply. So y into x minus 2 is equal to 2x plus 1. and this will give me xy minus 2y equals 2x plus 1, and I can write yx minus 2x. So basically I am collecting all the x terms on one side and everything else on the other side. So this 2y goes to right side to give us 2y plus 1. Now next is I can take this x common, so I will get y minus 2 equals 2y plus 1. So my x value comes out to be 2y plus 1 over y minus 2. Now once I have x value, I will interchange x and y, and I will say y is equal to 2x plus 1 over x minus 2, and this is nothing but our inverse of f. This is our answer. That's it. Only two step is there. Very simple. Okay, now let's move on to the second part of this video. Second part of the video is finding the domain and range of f inverse. Now remember this, we are not talking about domain and range of fx. Actually, you can also find that, but right now we will concentrate on domain and range of f inverse x. Now, when we take inverse of function f, so what happens is domain of f becomes the range of f inverse x, and range of fx becomes the domain. So obviously they interchange, right? That's why it's called the inverse function. So you have to remember this. This is very important, because sometimes what will happen is it will be little hard to find the range of fx. So what you can do is you can find the domain of f inverse x. So that will help you. So sometimes it's hard to find the you can say domain of f. So what you can do is you can find the range of f inverse x and vice versa. So that's why we will use this definition. This is very, very important. You must remember this. So for f and its inverse, the domain and range interchanges. Okay, let's try some questions. My first question is, the function f is defined by f is given as x is mapped to 1 upon 2x plus 4, and x belongs to R. X is not equal to 2. Okay. So what is this? This is nothing but the domain of f, right? We discussed this in last question also. Domain of f. Anyways. Next is find its inverse and state its domain and range. Okay. So now we are going to find the domain and range also. So first is the inverse. So what is my fx? So fx is given as 1 over 2x plus 4. So first step is, let's take this fx as y and try to find the value of x. 1 over 2x plus 4. So I can say 2x plus 4 times y equals 1. There are many ways to solve this. So I am just simply cross multiplying so that everyone can understand. So 2xy plus 4y is equal to 1. Next, what I am going to do is I am going to keep x terms on one side and all other terms on other side, because I need to find the value of x. So this 2xy will remain there, and I will take this 4y on right side. So I will get 1 minus 4y. So my x value is nothing but 1 minus 4y divided by 2y. So this is my value of x. Now, once I have x value, what we do is we will interchange. So my f inverse x or equal to y will be equal to 1 minus 4x over 2x. This is my inverse function. So that's my inverse function. Now next part. Now this is important. And also find the f inverse x domain and range. Now we know that domain of f is nothing but the range of f inverse x. So that's very easy. So I can directly say range of f inverse x is nothing but x belongs to R and x is not equal to 2. sorry, minus 2. So that's your range. So x is any real number except minus 2. That is my range. Now next is domain. Now this is important. Now domain of f inverse x. So domain means you have to find the values of x for which f inverse x is defined. As you can see, f inverse x is 1 minus 4x over 2x. So this becomes not defined or undefined when x is 0. Because we know denominator can never be 0 in maths. Right? So this denominator is 2x. So this x cannot be 0. Apart from that, x can have any real number. We won't have any problem. It will always be defined. Right? So I can say my domain is x can have any real number except x cannot be equal to 0. So that is my domain of f inverse x. So now what happens is when you find domain and range of f inverse x, from that you can find domain and range of f also, right? Because range of f inverse is domain and domain of f inverse is range of pfx. So if somebody asks what's the range of f, you can say range of f is nothing but all real numbers except 0. So that's why I started from this, because from this you can find domain and range of both functions. Okay, let's try one more question on this. A function is defined as x is mapped to half ln of 4x minus 9, where x is a real number and x is greater than 9 by 4. Find f inverse x and state its domain and range. Okay. So first thing first, what is by fx? By fx is nothing but y half ln 4x minus 9. So first step, y equals half ln of 4x minus 9. Writing this is easy. Now we have to find the value of x from this. Okay, so you must have studied logs. So we will use some properties here. So first thing is I will take this 2 to left side. So it will be 2y equals ln of 4x minus 9. And when we say ln, we know the base is e. So we know how to convert the log equation into exponential one. So what we will do is this base and this 2y. So what will happen is this 2y becomes the exponent of this base. So e power 2y will be equal to 4x minus 9. I hope everyone knows this. If you don't know this or you have some doubts, then you can watch my logs and exponential videos. Thanks. Okay. So we need to find x. So from this I can say e power 2y plus 9 is equal to 4x, and my x value is e power 2y plus 9 over 4. So once I have x value, I will interchange and that will be my f inverse x. So e power 2x plus 9 over 4. And this is nothing but my f inverse x. So that's my first answer. I hope everyone understands this. Next is domain and range. Again, this x belongs to real numbers and x is greater than 9 over 4. What is this? This is nothing but domain of f. Right? Because for these values, the function is defined, domain of fx. So I can directly say that my range of f inverse x is what? Same thing, all real numbers such that the real number must be greater than 9 by 4. So basically you can say all real numbers greater than 9 by 4. That is your range. Now we need to find the domain. Domain of fx. Sorry, f inverse x. Now domain means, I will repeat this for the third and fourth time. Domain means values of x for which this function is defined. As you can see, it is e power 2x. So you can substitute any value of x, any real number x, and it will be defined. There is no problem here. You can substitute negative number, fraction number, integer, whole number, whatever you want, irrational number, it will always be defined. So I can simply say my domain of f inverse x is x belongs to real numbers. That is my answer. And this is important because now you can also say that if domain of f inverse x is all real numbers, then range of f is also all real numbers. And anyways, we have done this in logs. So if you draw the log graph, just extra, this is something which I'm telling you extra. If you draw the log graph is something like this, right? This is general log graph. So, or you can say ln graph. So it takes actually all real numbers. So the range is all real numbers. Anyways, so that's it for this video. Now, what we are going to do in the second part of this video is we are going to solve some exam style questions, or you can say a little bit difficult questions based on inverse domain and range. So how to solve those questions? Now with this, what will happen is your basics will be cleared and you have a very good idea of how to find the domain and range. But there are still some questions which require some more concepts. So we'll do that in the next video. Thanks for watching.